If you guys have been looking for sound deadening material for your vehicle, you've come to the right place. You've probably seen this stuff online, and you've seen this stuff online. Which one is right for your vehicle? Which one do you need? Are they the same? Are they different? Let's find out. What's up, guys, and welcome back to INTHESHOPTV. If you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Mike, and that's my 1955 Chevy truck cab that we just got done stripping, priming, and getting in paint last video. You guys may notice as of right now, there's nothing in it, and it sounds like a tin can. Well, that's because it is essentially nothing more than a tin can at the moment. So if you guys are researching any of this type of sound deadening material for your tin cans, there's a lot of options out there, and it can get a little bit confusing. What I have here is what I think are probably the two most common options that you'll find. The first one, this is basically a butyl mat that has an adhesive back on it. They unfold and they're different sizes and shapes and everything, and they come, most importantly, in different mills, meaning different thicknesses. Obviously, the heavier duty mill that you have will provide more sound dampening. This, on the other hand, is basically a bunch of foam that is adhesive backed with a foil barrier on the other side of it. Now, when you're looking online, they both say sound deadening material. So is that true? You'll also see that they both say that they're heat shields or heat reduction material. Is that true? Do they both do the same thing? Well, sort of, but not exactly. Let's dig into it a little bit further. Now, foam, as we know, is a fantastic insulator, okay? Rubber, not so much. So when they label this as, you know, having insulatory properties and whatnot, it does insulate to some degree, but not as good as foam does. On the other hand, you'll hear the term deadening used a lot, which is where this stuff comes into play. But really, I like to just think of this as a deadening in general material, basically to deaden the resonance that you'll hear in an empty shell of a car. So really what this stuff is gonna do is when you lay it down, it's kind of heavy. In fact, this is almost as heavy, this one sheet, as this whole roll of foam. So that's gonna add this really kind of heavy sound absorbing component to our cab. And even beyond that, it's really best for vibration, as evident when you heard me knock on the floor of this cab. Well, which one do you need? Really kind of depends on your ride and what you're trying to do. If you're looking to just cancel out some noise and have a little bit of a heat barrier, I think that the foam stuff is probably gonna be the right direction for you to go in. However, if you're really looking to take away that tin can sound and take away a lot of that vibration and kind of just dampen a lot of that reverberation that goes on inside of an empty metal shell like this, then the butyl mat is gonna be exactly what you need. However, when you're starting with a blank canvas such as this, I need both of those things. So let's install both of them. So my plan is to lay the butyl mat down first and give us some nice vibration absorbing so we can kind of make things sound a little bit more solid in there and not have that hollow tin can sound when we're driving the vehicle. We're gonna get that down first, and then I'm gonna start putting the sound deadening material kind of over it so that we can protect against heat coming off the firewall and where the headers are underneath the firewall and your exhaust and everything. Also, the other side of the firewall obviously is the engine, so we're gonna take advantage of the foam's noise canceling capabilities and place that along the firewall as well. So it'll help a little bit with the heat from the exhaust and also the noise from the engine. Let's start laying down some of the butyl mat first. I want to go ahead and just remove any bolts that are in the way or any hardware that you have on the floor that was still hanging around. So that's just 2 sheets down. There's a little seam that we have here where the 2 sheets meet. Don't worry whether you have a little gap or not where your seams are, because they sell tape that I'll show you in a second that goes along with this that will seal any of the gaps that you have. Now this is minimal vibration dampening, so but right off the bat you can tell there's a difference in tone between both metal panels. It's only 2 sheets. So I'm not gonna bore you with laying all these peel and stick sheets down. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay a bunch of these down and we'll test it when we get closer to the end of it. All right, that's 5 sheets down. Let's see if it makes a little bit of a difference. I'd say so. All right, so I've got the floor done with the exception of that middle part right there because I've got some stuff I still need to do. I gotta route some wires, I gotta route the engine harness in there. And then up there, I'm not putting anything yet because that brace has to get cut out. A master cylinder bracket has to go there. A lot of stuff has to happen in that little corner yet, so I'm just kind of leaving that off for right now. But we got all the way up to the back wall. I still have one more piece to do here. You know, it's still, obviously, if you bang it real hard, it's still got some ring to it, but it doesn't have that tin can kind of sound anymore, which is really what I was trying to eliminate in the first place with this stuff. So I'm gonna start rolling out the foam blanket right now, which is more of a sound deadening material and a heat barrier. I'm gonna see if that makes any difference in actual sound when we tap it. All right, so I just kind of stuck one piece like lackadaisically down. Let's check it out. Yeah, there's definitely a difference. More of a thud when you hit this, more metallic when you hit that. So definitely that makes a difference with the two of them together. We're getting a lot of noise reduction, we're getting a lot of vibration reduction. We should definitely get some nice heat barrier with this foam here too. Now, I didn't want to run either the butyl or the foam over these rails right here because when we put our carpet in, it's kind of like a molded in carpet. And I just don't want to have that additional height over this. It's going to kind of screw up, you know, the way that carpet is molded. It may not have been a problem, but I don't really want to take the chance. And I don't really think it's that big of a deal if I just have these two little strips that don't have anything on it. But I just don't want to take a chance of messing up that carpet not laying right. When you cut pieces out of your material, always save these scraps because they will come in handy in little places where you never thought you would need them. The back wall's done, I just gotta tape it up and a lot different, guys. That is a lot different from before. So I've got the one floorboard part done on the passenger side, and I'm kind of cutting a little patch right there. That bolt that you see sticking through is for the firewall ground on the other side that comes from the battery in the frame. I thought it'd be nice to kind of sand off the back side of the capture nut so that I could have a ground that I know is solid, that's connected to my battery and frame on the inside of the cab if I want to run a wire up to the dash for anything, or back to where my computer's going to be, or any of that type of stuff. I'll have a nice solid ground in the cab. Guys, when it comes to this butyl stuff, I want to be kind of clear because I didn't really go over it when I was laying it down. You don't really have to achieve 100% coverage with this. I know a lot of guys do. You'll see the whole entire cab and walls and everything lined with it, and that's fine. If you have enough and you just want to use it up, you can totally do that. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's really not completely necessary to achieve the sound deadening that you're looking for to line every square inch of the car. Remember, we're just trying to deaden things with this and get that ringing out of there. And just by adding the weight from this butyl stuff and then putting it in some really key locations throughout the car, I mean, tap on the vehicle, tap on the floor, tap on the walls. You can see where it's got that really drummy, kind of hollow sound to it. That's really where you want this stuff. Also, it comes in varying thicknesses. This is a 50 mil product. It's not the thickest that they make. I don't feel that I needed that because, like I said, it sounds pretty thuddy. It sounds pretty good. We don't have that hollow, ringy sound anymore. And with that second layer of foam on there, I'm really not worried about it at all. But for me, I was more really concerned about weight. I didn't want the additional weight. If you pick up a box of this stuff that's 50 mil versus a box that's 80 mil or even thicker stuff, you'll feel it in your back right away. There's quite a difference to it. So not that a couple pounds is gonna make that big of a difference. We're not racing this truck. I know that's silly, but if I can help keep the weight down and still achieve the same thing I'm looking to achieve and save a few bucks in the process, why not? So this stuff can be found on Amazon. I think it's called Siless or Siles or whatever that's called, I don't know. But I'm not sure how much it was. I'll put the link in the comments and I'll put the link also in the video description. If you guys wanna pick some up, use my affiliate link. I'll make a whole whopping 3 cents on it and I really appreciate it. But hey, every penny counts, right? Same thing goes for this stuff. I'll have an affiliate link for it and make my whole whopping 3 cents if you guys wanna buy it. Neither of these products is very expensive at all. In fact, I think I'm into this project for well under $100. So totally a good investment in my opinion. With this foam stuff, it's less expensive than the butyl stuff, and it is my opinion, being that it's so light, and based on what it actually does, again, which is canceling out sound and acting as an insulatory material, you should try to get as much coverage as you can out of this. I didn't put it in that driver corner yet, like I said earlier in the video, because we've got a lot of stuff we need to do there yet. Brake boosters has to go in, I gotta figure out the gas pedal, the steering column's gonna go in there. There's some holes that I have to fill or put grommets in. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. So I just kind of left that driver's side foot/toe area untouched for right now until I figure out everything that's gonna get installed there first. We've got to put the cover plate for that transmission tunnel right there. So when I get the plate that mounts in that spot, I'll just keep that saved and stick it right on there. We're ready to go, so I don't have to recut anything. So if you guys have been following along, you notice I just painted this cab 2 videos ago, and I've got something really cool lined up for the next video that's going to drastically change the appearance of this cab, even though I just painted it. And that's the last project that I'm going to do before we mount it on the frame for good. So getting exciting, man. Almost time to start looking like a truck again. Anyway, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. I really depend on that stuff to grow this channel. Thank you guys for following along and sticking with me throughout this. And as always, I'll see you next time in the shop.